Well, I totally agree with what was said just not long ago by Marco and Alberto. Is absolutely on spot. And the first point was to build an ecosystem of where startups can grow. Okay, I want to go a step before what they were talking about. They were talking about the three legs, about obviously the idea, the startup. You need corporate, and you need obviously investors. Okay, great. Beforehand, you need to build somewhere ideas can generate and can spark off. And what we do need to have is structures like incubators, like service centers, like fab labs, why not, like other sort of accelerators or people who help out companies to make their idea and to do a lean startup at first. Next stage is to find investors and business angels to give the scale up and to bring the idea to a company level. Okay, so what we try to do in Campania now is to build that ecosystem. Um, so why the reasons why we should invest, maybe why people should come to the Campania region to look for startups and to invest in this territory are several. Obviously, there's university and research centers. We have excellencies in that sector. We have a lot of research. We have a lot of technology coming out of university. And that technology and that research is not put into good spin-offs, into good startups. So there's a lot of material on which to work in. There's a large presence of small and medium companies who can help out startups to go on the market. One thing which I think is very important about the corporate leg, let's say that, is the market side of the corporate leg. Obviously, if you're in startup and you start up in Naples, you're totally invisible to big market, to greater markets. A corporate company that comes in and maybe acquires part of your capital can help you out to scale up into international markets or to scale up into more solid markets over the world or even in Italy. So you need the presence of other corporate companies. We have institutions and research centers. We have logistic hubs down in Campania region. We have a large availability of workforce, young workforce and female workforce, which we saw in the States is really sparks off new startups. We have local products which can be invested in to make an upscale of these and to export. We have a high density of manufacturing companies, so products, hard stuff, and we can bid for European money to help out investors to make the seed financing into startups. So we have all the premises, all the conditions to generate good startups and to generate good startups into which maybe corporate or investing institutions can invest. Some numbers about companies in Italy, startups in Italy. There's 300,000 companies being established between January and September 2013 in Italy, of which 100,000 were under 35 years of age. The team was under 35 years of age. 40,000 companies are managed by young people in the south of Italy, and 100 innovative companies to date have been established with the Camera Commercio Innovative Company status. Okay, the next goals we're looking for is to consolidate the regional production of startups and strategy for innovation, education, research, and business. We need to facilitate the process of business creation. Unfortunately, business creation and startup doesn't only come from a good idea. It comes from a big work that you do within universities. there's not Marinucci was saying about what happens in the States is that if you fail, you're good. In Italy, unfortunately, if you fail, you're bad. At the moment, it's like that. So what we need to do is to do a lot of culture within university, within where young peoples aggregate and tell them, try. There's another way of making business. There's another way. You don't. The only way is not to be employed in a larger company or maybe in a regional institution, but you can put yourself at work and you can start off. Then if you fail, that's okay. You'll do it another one. You'll do the next chance. So on the whole, what the institutions are trying to do is to build up this ecosystem. There's a lot of measures which have come out in the last year to do this. We have a smart specialization strategy program. I'll go very fast on these. Okay, these are the strategies to develop new paths for innovation in the Campania region. There's production and technology areas within aerospace, ground transportation and logistics, materials, and so on. We're trying to make procedures to maximize private spending. We're trying to innovate in public procurement processes. We're trying to set up systems where we can network and we can guarantee partnerships with corporate companies at local, national, and European level. We're bringing out some indicators to value what we're doing, and we're doing knowledge generation services and digital agenda programs. Okay, all this work has been done not only from top to bottom, but we started off by doing a lot of networking at the bottom level, and we tried to bring the ideas from the actual players of the system, of the ecosystem. So the players can give indications to the institutions on how to do things better. That's one thing I think is quite important, because the institutions very often don't know what to do. So if, with indications from the territory, they can do things much better. We set up a big network of technological districts where to go and look for technologies and spin out ideas. What we do as Campania Innovazione, we give support to governance and coordinations. We do technical assistance for monitoring and evaluation, and we do a lot of promotions and exploitation of these of the ideas coming out of these technological districts in the different sectors of activity. We have a desk for attraction of foreign investments, which is just building up. And especially the institutions have put more than 200 millions on of EU funding on startups. So at the moment we have 2 calls been already published. One is for startups, which gives out is not equity money, but is debt money, but is very low interest rates. So it's quite useful for a small startup for the for the prototypation phase, which is what we're talking about before in lean startup process. So you need to have some money to do that first step, the bootstrap process. Institutions are next to companies and startups, lending them some money with very small part of interest, so it's quite accessible. And this call was published on 14th of April. And is open, and there's 30 million euros. So we think there's going to be a lot of startups which are going to be helped out with this measure. Another measure that's already come out as a public grant. I'll go over this. Okay, there's 75 millions on another grant that was published in on the 17th of February. and comes from the research assessorato alla ricerca, which is lo sportello dell'innovazione. It has 4 parts, and one of the strands is on startups. So to make new companies, you can set up projects between 400,000 euros to 1.6, I think, million euros. And within that, you have a big part of funding for the research programs of the startup. So this is another instrument which is quite interesting. I'll go fast. Okay, these are the 4 strands. There's 10 million euros on the startup strand, which is quite a lot of money. So you can use that as well. Let's go on. Okay. I'm going to focus on this because I think this is quite important and it's quite interesting what we're doing here at the moment. 1 year ago, we started off with this process of trying to understand what sort of services are on the territory that can give help to startups and can spark out ideas from the territory and at local level and can attract investments from overseas or from other parts of Italy and even startups to come in. And we had this mandate from the Campania region to set up this platform of subjects. I want to call them subjects because it's not only incubators which are part of this ecosystem. There's a lot of different type of players that assist startups, and that's what it all started off. And okay, sorry, there's Italian and English in this presentation. Okay, so what we did is to try first of all to understand how many incubators, accelerators, PST, business service centers, fab labs, and makerspace were on the territory, and then we aggregated next to these subjects all the other players that are quite active on startup creations. So we started aggregating also the VCs, business angels. We aggregated, for instance, the associations of dottori commercialisti, legal associations that can give help. In fact, within this l'Ordine dei Commercialisti, which is the association for the commercial legal experts, we are doing a course, which 2 years course, to make up a short list of experts on startups that can either go in the team, so sustain the teams, or help them out to confront themselves with other corporate companies or investors. So we're making a focus on startups within these associations. And also we helped out the writing down of these grants. So people from the territory, we had, I don't know how many meetings focused on, for instance, the 2 measures that we saw before. And from these meetings, everybody said, okay, for me, for instance, we should give the funding to companies who are startups or early stage. Okay, so we sent over a document to the region giving our indications on how these grants were to come out. And that's, I think, a very important thing which has been done. So giving assistance to these structures. Okay, how many are these structures? I go back to this. We counted more than 42 facilities just in the Campania region. So there's a huge number of facilities. We have 28 incubation facilities of different sort. So they're not all physical incubation facilities. We have virtual accelerators. We have fab labs within these structures. We have simple service centers. And next to these 48 facilities, we aggregated 14 operators and experts offering support activities for startups, business angels, seed investors, ventures investors, professionals association, startup competitions, and so on. So we try to understand what the actual territory of the Campania region expresses in terms of these numbers, and we try to put them all together. Now we are going on in this process, and we involved over 70 experts within this process. So we had relations with over 70 experts. So it's a big work has been done, and now we set up. Now we have actually set up a series of services. We did a couple of scouting contests where people came over. We did a lot of workshops together, and we tried to exchange best practices between each other so everyone can expose their best practice in terms of scouting programs and put them to system with the other subjects. We went over and we did a web portal, which is very important, where you can see every one of these structures where it's placed. At the moment on this web portal, we have 11 structures which have physical incubation services, 2 virtual incubators, 1 PST, 1 structure for TNT, and for the patenting processes and for spin-off. We have put on this portal 109 startups incubated within these structures, and so on. So it's been a long work going on, which is not going to stop now, but we're going to go over, and we're going to try to offer in an aggregate way these services, so we can within this network we can give out logistics services, financial services via or either the institutions or the VCs and business angels associated, and we can also give support, qualified support to startups. Okay, this is I don't know if I can actually go on the internet to show the actual portal, so we can launch the portal. Is that possible? Is this connected, this computer? Anyway, this is a screenshot of the portal. If we can, it's going to be quite good. Is startup. Okay. Can I? That's, così il link. C'è sulla slide. Sorry, I'm just trying to launch this. Interattiva? Nada. Okay, I'll talk over this. As you could, well, it's going maybe, hopefully, technology. There we go with technology. Anyway, what you can see in this portal, which is it's just been set up, is a geolocalized Google map. Okay, where you can localize all the different structures, and we've differentiated the structures as incubators, InHubbers, what we call InHubbers, which are the actual players who give services to support startups and the actual startups. So we can at one glance have an idea of what the actual startup ecosystem in Campania region is at the moment. Obviously, this is an open process, so anyone can aggregate. New structures can aggregate in this process. And also on the portal, we're going to launch the new all the grants and all the promotion services that we have, like incubation services. Città della Scienza with the Smart Lab Incubator is coming out with their grant soon, and probably is going to be promoted within this portal. It's going to be launched through this portal, and all other startups. I'll go through the last but not least partnership which we set up at the moment, which is Unicredit Start Lab. We had this contact, and we're gonna have we're gonna sign an actual partnership paper with Unicredit Lab, because we believe that banks are helpful not only for debt and loan, but they're very helpful also for that connection with the corporate level, which we understand is extremely crucial for the scale up of a company. Ci siamo riusciti? Non c'è. Non si riesce a caricare. Okay. Okay, sorry, we couldn't show you the actual. Maybe it's going. Last chance. No. Anyway, that's what we're doing, and that's the ecosystem we're trying to set up in Campania region. I think is quite an innovative process for an institution to do so. And this actual structure, this ecosystem, is going to have soon an actual is going to spin out from the Campania region from the institution, and it's going to be an actual association on itself. So it's going to live its own life and can go on and can be financed and funded and sustained by anyone who wants. This, I think this is the reason for which in Campania region we're doing a lot for startups, and it's a good place where to go and check out if new startups are coming out. What we do need is connections with the American system, obviously. So Mind the Bridge is absolutely a very good bridge towards the Silicon Valley. And this sort of meetings are very important for us, because so you can understand the sort of the startups that come out from our territory. We're going to do all we can to build up this system of new startups production, and we're going to hopefully have sound and structured startups to propose to the world of institutions, because we do understand that it's okay, we can set up a lot of new companies, but if you don't have the support of corporate and bigger institutions, then the scale-up system is difficult to come out. Okay, thank you very much for the